Hello and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle, Take 2, June 7th. I'm here. Todd's here with the Letterman jacket. Pedro's in the back. Y'all, we got a good show for y'all.
Yeah, but so what I was gonna say when we did first take was we was talking about how my school just celebrated their 20th, St. Mary's, because we graduated 2003, and I wasn't invited. I was telling Mook and Pedro, like, they might have invited everybody via Facebook or something, which I don't have anymore, you know what I mean? But yeah, I haven't been to any alumni events at all in the past 5, 10, and 15th, I think they had, so I haven't been to any of them, so I'm not surprised they didn't get invited. So this is my way of celebrating now. The thing about these jackets is, like, I was telling him, growing up, you were on a Letterman if you was an athlete of some sort in the city doing something positively out there, because you're known for the school you played for and your jacket. Mm-hmm. And for some odd reason, at St. Mary's, only the football team got it. And, I was telling you before the show, they were like L for L's, loser for Lettermans. It's like, you ain't win nothing, but you got these cool jackets. And I'm like, we got championships and we ain't get no jackets. So once I spoke up, we finally got some Lettermans, you know what I mean? But, not to take up too much of the show, the beginning of it.
Yeah,
the main reason why I don't do alumni events, it's not that I don't want to see y'all, but it's like Facebook been out since 2004, 2006. Like, if you haven't reached out to me on a social media platform, we haven't crossed paths in the past 20 years and haven't had to sit hi or bye, I can't sit somewhere and act like I care what you've been up to for the past 20 years. Like, I can't. I'm not good at that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because I reached out to everybody that mattered in life at least once.
I ain't go to my reunion either.
Oh yeah, and I had to show the Jews, so I actually went there.
Yeah. I ain't go to my reunion either, so don't feel bad. Tumba got his 20 years coming up too. He just texted me about that. I'm like, whatever. World's been going crazy, World's been going crazy. Travis Rudolph. I don't know if you read about or heard about that story. Former NFL player. Well, he's trying to get back in the league. He was on trial. He was found out guilty. So, the story was the girl he was dating, who happened to be married, she spazzed out on him and started attacking him and sent her brothers and her friends to try and shoot him. It said, go and shoot his ish up. That's what the text message said. They pulled up and they got shot and somebody died. And it wasn't Travis, so he had to go on trial.
Right.
And then the girl was like held no accountability whatsoever.
Why was she? She didn't actually go out there and do it, so she doesn't see her actions as a reason for somebody being dead.
Yeah. And then when the lawyer was asking her, like, what exactly did you think was gonna happen when you text your brother and said go shoot his ish up? What did you think that? She's like, well, I didn't think they were gonna go and shoot him. Yeah, exactly. But he got found out guilty. Actually, 30 minutes ago, he got found out guilty.
Man, good for him, man.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw this other story. I don't know. I think this was in Florida. Kids were playing. Some lady started yelling out racial slurs to them. They went back. They went inside, told their mom, forgot their iPad outside, went to get their iPad. The lady who was uttering the racial slurs to them had their iPad and tossed it at the kid. So the kid went and got the mom. So the mom, as any parent would do, went to go and have a conversation with this lady. The lady shot her through the door. She didn't even open the door. She just shot through the door.
I seen her getting arrested.
Yeah,
I seen her getting arrested today.
It's like the world's going crazy.
Well, the world's so bent on this whole gun law issue. If these cases haven't shown you enough that there's, granted,
a lot of irresponsible gun owners?
Yeah, but I don't even want to say there's more. I would say it's equal, but unfortunately, those people are killing people. They're not killing deers, they're not killing ducks, geese, moose. Plural is always moose, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
I get you.
Cool. Good grammar. But it's just we have to have stricter gun laws just because, like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then you hear about another lady about she cheated the little. She was smoking weed and then applied for the gun but you know what I mean, she diluted or whatever, got over it, and then I think it's her son or somebody that murdering somebody. Now she's on trial for the gun. It's just, we just need to just have stricter things, because we have stricter laws on drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Why can't we have stricter laws with guns, and like, we just have to.
Yeah, because we've just seen the last several years, there's too many irresponsible gun owners. And there's nothing wrong with having one, but there's just too many irresponsible people owning guns.
And people aren't going through the proper courses and classes to attain it, understanding why they're actually using it. Yeah. Like I told you, like my dad got this, I mean, when he became a cop, got his firearm and something, showed me exactly what it was, told me it was a weapon, he told me don't touch it again. I understood that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He let me have my phone for a second, and then
I
wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
Because you understand that, yeah, it looks cool, feel cool, what it does is cool, but it's not really cool. It's there for protection. You're not drinking NyQuil every day just because.
Yeah.
You're drinking NyQuil when you're sick to protect yourself from getting even sicker.
Definitely. And I think I don't know which country it is, but it's like you have to go through I don't know if you know the country, but you have to go to like numerous tests. You got to go to like evaluations, like a whole bunch of stuff just to.
I think guns are outlawed in Australia, ain't they? Or New Zealand?
Probably.
Or you have to go through crazy things. I think there's barely any guns in China.
Yeah.
There's guns in the Philippines. I've seen that.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen anybody just freely carrying.
Yeah.
You always see like government officials and people that work for the government with those firearms at establishments that are being mostly secured by them.
Yeah. So that's our little rant for today. Just stay safe, people, because I don't know. The way the world's going right now, people just losing their minds. It's too quick on the trigger.
Thanks.
NBA action. We are tied up one piece, 1-1 in the NBA Finals. After Game 1, I can't even say the name. The Heat rebounded in Game 2. You said you didn't watch the second half of Game 2. What I did in the second half, it was a case of Jokic took over the game. He took over that's yours. Jokic took over the game at one point. It got them a good amount of lead. And if for some reason, I don't know what Jamal Murray was on in like the second half, it was just like, he was just like being too passive, like not being aggressive. And then he got a lot of open shots, and they made their open shots.
Yeah, I mean, overall, they've been shooting better than the Nuggets have for the series so far. They shot 33% to Nuggets 29% in the first game. In the second game, they shot 48% for the Nuggets 39% from three. The Nuggets are shooting overall better from two.
Yeah,
but so
that's how the Nuggets went.
So and I heard the Heat's game plan was to let Jokic do his thing, let him do whatever he wanted basically, just because they had to stop everybody else because everything gets funneled through him. So if you cut off the pipeline, you know what I mean, the water's not flowing.
That's what's happening.
That's
what was happening, and also, so you look at it, they lose by 3, and then you look at that margin of error in sports, especially in championship games, is so small, and you just Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, you can't foul a three-point shooter twice. One time it was the shot clock was running down and you fouled the three-point shooter. Then another time you just fouled the three-point shooter. 6 points right there you just gave up.
Some of them three-point shot fouls are crazy. Like with Vincent, he should just rolled. He should have just rolled out the way because he like landed on them. And, some of them fouls were crazy.
You got to know how like the contest was like. It's good to contest, but time and situation, no. Especially the one on Lowry when the shot clock was winding down. It's like he's way back there. Why you even put yourself in that position to do that? And then I know we talked about officiating so much. There needs to be a way that these folks need to be held accountable. Because there was a play, Jimmy Butler was like, foot was right, like it wasn't even like it was closely out of bounds. His foot, he was out of bounds. And they got a 3 out of there. And you got the baseline official, who even knows what he was looking at. And then the goaltender, it was just like,
I mean, you know, NBA Finals, it'd be tough to focus on the game and some of them things around there.
Well, still, you're the baseline official. That's your job right there.
I mean, I feel like after this season, they'll be getting reprimanded a lot more probably in private, just because they can't take the heat. Even though they want that spotlight, but they can never take the heat. But and social media, too many fans just have too much too much input, too many voices, too many podcasts, too many shows. So Silver's he's gonna succumb to some of the pressure. and tighten things up because you have to, because this margin of error is looking like sports betting is affecting the games. That's what a lot of people are really thinking, though.
Shoot, it definitely is. But
So-
then, yeah, and then you look at it, the Heat built the lead, then the Nuggets got back. It's one of those things. It's like they just like go up and down, up and down, up and down. It's like the margin of errors in this game is kind of, you can't make stupid errors.
And too, when you turn Jokic into a scorer, obviously he's not giving out as much assists because the Heat had 28 assists to the Nuggets 23. I feel like if Jokic was giving out more, they would have had probably equal. But the stat they've been talking about the most is the Nuggets are like 0-3 when Jokic scores, over 30 or something, over 40, something like that.
And you need Michael Porter Jr., you got to give him more than 5 points.
Yeah.
You're 6'10". There's nobody on that court, which is like, but his shot selection, my goodness, it's in line with who's that dude? He got some terrible shot selections. I'll just say that.
I mean, he doesn't really get any shots for himself, so he's usually just Jokic setting him up, or somebody setting him up. So if
when he
that's
gets it
not
for
happening,
himself, it was like, because I don't know if you saw that one play. It was he had it at the free throw line, and it was 3 Nuggets by themselves right under the hoop, and he just still shot it. Like it was just like one of those. Yeah, it was like one of those. Come on, man, you get that whenever. It's an easy basket right there.
I find it kind of funny that we're even talking about the Heat winning the game after last week.
Oh man, game 2 tonight, right?
Game 3 is tonight.
I said game 2.
Because the Heat stole one.
Game 3 is tonight. Yeah, game 3 is tonight. Hopefully I stay up for that. I've been getting tired. But one thing I do like about these finals, the game's been ending before 11 o'clock.
Because LeBron's not playing.
Yeah, another 30-minute pregame show or hour-and-a-half pregame show. Let's say 8:30 start.
I mean, it's Nugget versus Heat, bro. They're trying to wrap this up, bro.
Hey, man, I'm all for these. I'm all for it going like this moving forward and before 11 o'clock. Some of us want to sleep. But, all right, so series tied one game apiece. We'll see what happens. Oh, and then the Celtic killer, Caleb Martin. Every time I see his stat line, I just get mad and mad each friggin' game. Every time. He's got a combined 6 points. 6 points.
Yeah, man. He got a guy at 6'10" covering him. It's tough.
Every time, whenever I just see his stat line, I'm just going to get more and more upset.
I mean,
These dudes had him looking like friggin' Jordan.
I mean, half the time nobody was covering Caleb. So
Oh my God.
that ain't his fault.
Even this one, it was a lot of. He's just not making no shots either. Like,
they had Red out there covering Caleb, bro. God rest his soul. Cool guy. Cool guy, by the way.
Speaking of the Celtics, they have added Sam Cassell to their coaching staff, and smart move, smart decision. Get a longtime vet. He's been coaching for a while now. Especially you see how the effect of losing Damon Stoudemire in the middle of the season kind of had on them. So I think this is definitely a good pickup for them, just for Missoula too, because he needs somebody like that.
It's a great pickup for Tatum and Brown because he can go left efficiently, no problem. He got a great pull-up. He can shoot the ball. He's a two-point specialist.
Yeah.
They need somebody like him to help them understand how to get easy buckets with no problem.
Yeah.
More Tatum than Brown, because Brown, he likes to shoot the pull-up and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Tatum just needs to understand that you can shoot over a lot of people, and once you do that, the three ball is going to be even easier for you. You don't got to do as many sidestep threes or fade, you know what I mean? It's just make the game easier for yourself, that's all.
Or at all. And I think Missoula just need another experienced guy, because Sam Cassell's been on a bunch of coaching staffs.
Sam Cassell was on the Wizards from 2009 to 2014, the Clippers from 2014 to 2020, and the Sixers from 2020 to 2023.
And he also brings in 3 rings. 3, right? 2 or 3.
I don't know, he got some.
And he got some.
For a second, I was stumped because I'm looking at the teams he caught. I said, what? I said, oh, yeah, but he played. He got 2.
championship.
He got 2 with the Rockets.
Yeah,
and then he got
one with the Celtics.
And one with the Celtics.
Okay.
All right, so that's 3.
I thought, yeah. So I thought he got one with the Rockets because I thought he came the second year. But
he might. I'm not sure, but I think he was there for both.
He would probably, but they need an adult in the room to get these guys to take their games to the next level, especially in the mid-range game.
And two, it's kind of like what you want to call that, the fire extinguisher in the room, the glass in it.
Yeah.
If Missouri does something wild or they're not happy with how the team's performing midway through the season, they can just plug Cassell in because he's seasoned. He's kind of ready. So, you know.
Yeah, some were saying, like, if folks aren't too happy with Missoula next year, at some point in the season, you might see.
Bro, I just said.
You might see one of that Ty Lue situation when he was in Cleveland.
Yeah, I literally just said that midway through the season, they might yank him.
Well,
that's fire extinguisher noises if y'all didn't know.
All right, next up, the Pistons have made Monty Williams the highest paid coach in NBA history.
Good for him.
Highest paid. Hey, man.
Good for him.
I'm all for people hustling somebody to give him some money.
Did he just get fired?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he done came up on like $80 million.
Ooh.
Yeah. Some of those other coaches.
He done fell into a pool full of money.
You know, all those GMs now and like team presidents are gonna be like, when a good coach comes around, they're gonna be asking, you see what Monty got? Give me a little bit more than that.
Yeah, they're looking like the Black Mr. Freeze. Every time I see that graphic, I just think Mr. Freeze. Man.
I like this move for this young team, young Detroit Pistons team, because they're a really young team.
Question though. What does he know about some of these people to be getting this bread? You think he been in the league? He's been around the league a long time. You think he knows some things that they just want to keep keep hush?
Well, I know the owner of the Pistons. I think he's the owner. Got money invested in prison and stuff like that. The owner. So I don't know about the GM who hired him, but I know the owner. So maybe he got connections with the GM. Hey, or maybe it's one of those. You did me a favor back in the day. I got you, something like that.
That's disturbing, though.
Very disturbing. I didn't know that till the other day. I found that out on Monday. But yeah.
Might be why nobody want to play for the Pistons.
Hey, man. But let's look at this Detroit Pistons roster. You got 24-year-old Marvin Bagley III. Oh, Buddy Boeheim's on that team. Well.
Word. Shout out Buddy, man. I'm glad he got a spot.
You got Bojan Bogdanovic. Him, Alex Burke, and Rodney Magruder are the wily vets at 31, 31, and 34. Cade Cunningham, 21. Diallo, 24. Jalen Duren, 19. R.J. Hampton, 22. Killian Hayes, 21. Jaden Ivey, 21. Oh, Corey Joseph, still on there, 31. And you got 22-year-old James Wiseman on that team. A lot of talent, a lot of potential.
Don't see a lot of wins.
Not a lot of wins, yeah.
Don't see a lot of wins.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of wins right now.
You said a couple names that kind of like, he nice. Like K, a couple guys. But I'm like, I didn't see anybody that's like, all right, you're going to the playoffs. I don't see many wins.
If they make the playoffs, you got to give this dude coach of the year if they make the playoffs.
East, who was in the 8th in the East this year?
Miami and Atlanta.
They might be able to. They
might be a playing team.
Yeah, it might be in the East.
They got the talent.
West, no chance.
They got the talent. They got the talent. It just depends how they buy into the system and understand how to play.
But you know how well very talented teams do in the NBA?
It takes them a little while.
But not many of them do well at all, bro. They're just fun to watch until it comes down to the last 4 minutes of the game and they lose. And
you look at it, the guys that really are like the cornerstone to that, Cade Cunningham and what was that other dude's name? And Jaden Ivey, they're both 21, and usually
Durant too, right? Durant got drafted there.
Durant, yeah, Jalen Duren.
Cade, same year as Cade.
Yeah. So you got 21, 19, and 21. Those are like your three best players. So takes guys at least like 22, 23 to start kind of figuring things out before they make that playoff leap.
But just the culture from we know at Detroit, obviously it's going to change because there's different plays and whatnot.
Yeah.
My bad, mess with the mic.
It's all good.
But I want to fall my shirt again. But I just feel like they just had a culture that was kind of blue collar.
Yeah.
Vets.
Yeah.
They didn't really. They had the guys that they drafted, but they kind of flourished when they had their vets. Like,
Yeah.
And they had a certain system they played and how they played. Like Detroit's kind of like blue collar in its own because of like the factories they used to have and stuff like that. So that was kind of how the team was programmed. So if they could have that mindset, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw it, KG Certified with T-Mac. They was just talking about it. A lot of these young teams, they need some vets on there. Like they need guys. They don't granted have to play, but they just need a vets around those young guys just to help them
it's just all about how to carry yourself, how to handle yourself in them situations.
Yeah.
Because some of the guys at the end of the bench might not be able to perform in a situation, but they have performed and they know what it takes, and they can help you understand how to handle it, what to look for, what not to do, what to do.
Yeah.
It's no different than a parent.
Yeah.
The guy that grew up in the NBA, now he's on his way out. He wants to help the next person, the next flower.
Yeah, because I'm looking at some of the events like Alex Burks and Bogdanovich. I mean, they could tell them a little something, but it's kind of like those guys been role players, you know?
You didn't see nothing that sparked any interest.
Yeah. Like maybe Corey Joseph, just because.
They speak fluent English? I've never really heard of Bogdanovich get interviewed.
Oh, probably.
That's what I mean. Like, Alex, I know Burke, I've never heard like.
Yeah, Bogdanovich probably does. You know them Eastern European folks speak like 10 languages.
Yeah, I know. I played with one. He spoke about 8.
Yeah. Another coach hired. The Suns hired Frank Vogel. I saw that hire. I was like, well, I guess he's.
That was a downgrade.
So he's shown a track record of having winning teams and being a good coach. But I'm just like, is this gonna get them to a championship? I don't know. I don't
see the excitement from anybody walking of any of the players when they see him walk into the locker room compared to just losing Monty.
Yeah.
It seems like a downgrade to me.
I mean, I would agree. It seems like it's like a coach we've seen this movie before with him. We've seen it. And he got a ring, but we've seen the movie before with him. He could almost get you to the promised land, and then something happens where it's just like, yeah, I got y'all excited, and now you're just gonna have to,
He get everybody worked up.
Yeah, you're just gonna have
He's a tease.
Just gonna have to go home with them blue balls.
It's a tease. Oh, got the red light district. Hey. Oh, yo. You want it too.
And then you got to figure out your vets. Durant, Chris Paul, I mean, those guys are getting up there in age, injuries, and all that. What's your bench going to look like? What's your team going to look like? How you going to revamp this team? Because they need a bench. They need a bench.
They need a borderline backup all-star caliber point guard.
Oh, you're talking about the guy the guy that played in Philly?
Yeah. I mean, they just they want to keep Chris cool, but it's kind of like he only has certain mileage to run until he starts breaking down. I hope I'm wrong. I wish I was wrong, but year after year, he gets to a certain point in the season and he just starts breaking down. Yeah. So you guys could not play him as much maybe in the regular season. Or, I don't know. But you got to get somebody in there that could that could take on the load. No, not hold the load. That was crazy. Yeah, that was pause. But I mean, take on the responsibilities. There we go. You could have corrected me, dog.
I think you was gonna correct yourself before because you kind of saw it coming.
Take on the responsibility.
That was wild too. That was wild.
Well, I think they heard that. But pause. But take on the responsibilities.
Westbrook, Harden.
Westbrook.
I mean.
Because they would have Westbrook this year.
Yeah. The way he played towards the tail end of the season.
And one thing, I know it's kind of off track, but still on topic because it's the NBA. They need to stop disrespecting Westbrook. Just keep that that man's name out the tabloids.
Yeah.
He don't do anything to anybody.
Yeah.
He just like looking interesting when he comes to the games. And sometimes I like to look. Other times I'm like, what is that? But hey, I'm always intrigued. Negative or positive, you know what I mean? But leave that man alone, man. He plays his heart out every game. Like, get off that man's back. What's wrong with y'all?
He said he likes coming to the game looking interesting. That's an understatement.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I love originality. It just ain't all for me.
Oh my God. Oh man, let's get into Team USA. They've got some players committed. I had it over here, but last I saw Brandon Ingram committed. There was a couple of people that committed. I just feel like for these FIBA Cups, the all NBA players are not being a part of this.
No, they only want to be called if it's like an emergency and need reinforcements.
Like the Olympics and stuff like that. Because I don't even think they care that much about the FIBA World Cups anymore. Because
it's all about that gold medal in the Olympics, man.
Yeah,
but granted, I'm all about getting gold across the board.
Listen, my thing with these FIBA Cups, every time for the players that go, whenever they come back to the regular season, the next year they have like they have a breakout season.
Yeah, because they're playing at a high level all year round, and they're learning certain things in these, you know what I mean, these training sessions, and from these teams they're playing against. And like I said, you got half the league just chilling out, going on vacation, enjoying their time, and you got the other quarter playing for USA, getting in prime time shape, and then you see what happens every time.
Yeah, so far, here are the committed players finally got it. Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr., Bobby Portis, Austin Reeves. I feel like they need some more shooters on this roster because the FIBA game is all about shooting. Because you got a whole lot of space, you need some shooters on that. So some of you guys that trying to make a name for yourself, I think y'all should try to get on this roster and make a name for yourself.
That plate sounding kind of light.
Man, we got
put some mac and cheese on that plate.
I think it's supposed to be like a 12 or 15 man roster.
Get some sweet potatoes on there or something.
They got
I don't know where that came. There you go.
Yeah, so they need the 12-man roster. It's a 12-man roster. So Steve Kerr is going to be the head coach. So I think the game started like August. So we'll see who ends up on that roster. But,
Jordan Poole ain't on it?
He should be.
Yeah, he need to get in there.
He'd flourish on that.
I mean, Kerr needed to recruit him.
Nah, facts. This is facts. Speaking of also FIBA, the U.S. the U16 team. I don't know if you've been keeping up.
Yes, they've
Them
been
boys over there.
Throwback style, dismantling opponents, leaving no bones, only gristle.
Yeah.
Trails of it.
Yeah, they won. I think it was yesterday. They won by 60. And
61, I think.
yeah, it was just.
Your boy gotta put the extra.
Yeah, it was like the varsity versus JV out there because them boys was
Throwbacks.
them boys were catching bodies and all that. I mean, shout out to AJ from Brockton. That boy, every time I see a highlight from him, he's dunking on somebody. So, woo! And most of those kids we'll probably see in the pros in like 7 years or so. Like,
I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too. So I wonder, they haven't got the update on the girls yet. But,
I'm sure it ain't 60. It's probably about 40-something.
nah, it'll probably be 80. It'll probably be 80.
Who they playing, though?
They don't have the thing here.
Oh.
No, I don't know. Well,
Yeah, you're right. It depends who they playing.
yeah.
Because there's a couple of them girls' countries that got some hoopers. Australia be all right.
Facts. All right, NFL news, man. Listen, people. If you're going to gamble, do not gamble on the job. If you're going to bet, don't bet on your own team.
That's crazy.
That's just like welcoming in all the conspiracy and the criminal activities and just don't do it. So
Bro.
this guy from the Colts was being investigated. His last name's Rogers, I believe, for betting on games and betting on team games.
You look like he'll bet on some games.
Right? That is just, I don't get it. If you're gonna be discreet about it, don't bet on the team you play for.
Yeah, they do know the F in NFL don't stand for football, really. It stands for federal. You know these conglomerates are part of like the FBI, like they're part of everything. Like, what are you thinking? What do you think they're gonna just turn a blind eye when they give you all this money to be a millionaire and they're not gonna surveillance you somewhat on what you do and your actions? Like, you're borderline chipped. Like, let's be real. Like,
and I know when I know all these leagues when gambling started being legal all over the place, that's probably one of the things they was like. Probably having more eyes on teams now because it's just like we need to make sure these dudes aren't over here, pulling a Pete Rose. Sorry, but Pete Rose is the example for this.
Yeah, banned forever though. That's ridiculous.
I mean, he was bad. He was gambling
banned
during the games.
But forever though, forever like a mistake, Sky. You forever. And it wasn't like he was beating on people. He's betting. Like no harm. Was he beating up the bookie? Like, was he kidnapping the bookie wife? Like, what was he doing?
He may have had the bookie in the dugout or something.
You know what I mean? Like, lifetime? Like, that's ridiculous.
It's wild, but that should be like, every team should like put a picture of Pete Rose.
It should be the Pete Rose rule.
Right? You'd be like, listen, this is what happens when you gamble on your own sport while you're in season.
It's called the purr. I can't roll my eyes, but P-R-R, purr.
But this guy, it looks like he'll be getting that. Who's that last guy? That Ridley, the dude that was suspended for a year.
Oh yeah.
From the NFL. He looked like this guy. Well, hope he saved his checks because he's gonna be.
He was going like himself to place the bets.
His best friend.
So what is the actual rule?
Was placing it for him. Though.
So what is the actual rule? Like, nobody in your immediate family, your friends, like where's the line stop where you can like?
So, they said that there was an account opened by a friend of his, but they found out that he like kind of facilitated it for him to open the account so he could place the bets and stuff like that. So it's like
So hold up. So his friend basically opened something exclusive. You think it's like an exclusive betting thing?
Nah, it was one of the sports books. It was on the sports book.
Then
so it was like, so
why
that's
couldn't his
like.
friend just go about it and just get the bread himself? Like, why did you have to be somewhat involved in organizing? That's why I asked if it was exclusive. Yeah. If it was only like to high rollers and you had to have a certain caliber, bread or something. That's why I was asking because I don't really bet.
Yeah,
I don't be gambling unless I know I'm gonna win, and that's not a gamble.
It just sounds to me like these folks don't really think this through. Let's go gamble on basketball or some stuff like that. Gamble on baseball.
They can't walk away from the sure thing. But he played for the Lions, though.
The Colts.
Oh, Colts. Don't even matter. You put them both on the scale, they're gonna be like this. Exactly the same. Like you gotta think they're gonna drop, you're gonna be right here.
Oh, man.
I want to hear that.
Yeah, wow.
That's crazy.
So tell me about it. It ain't an NFL offseason without some kind of drama happening. So 2 Browns players got robbed at gunpoint.
Cleveland wild.
Like, what? They said one was leaving. They were leaving the club, going to the car, and 6 masked men, hopped out of the car and just, man. That's just a crazy way to be living.
It's unfortunate because we live in this new generation where if I can't figure out a way to earn it, I got to figure out a way to steal from somebody who actually earned it the hard way.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because these men should be able to enjoy their time. Granted, I'm not going to no club in Ohio. Personally, like,
I ain't never been to Ohio, so.
But I get it. These guys live in these states and stuff like that. But it's just certain places. Like, if I go to a club in Ohio, I'm probably gonna have a couple people with me with some hammers, some security. Just because of things like this.
Yeah.
And you're automatically a target, unfortunately, even if you are minding your business. So if you're a high-profile athlete, you probably want to be more low-key.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's hard to get away with being a high-pro athlete and wearing high-profile stuff. Like crazy diamonds and jewels. Do you really got to do, I'm not saying that's what they had on, but just naturally, did you really have to do that when you know you're already a target? They know your name. They see you on TV. Yeah. So I would just say, just try to be a little lower.
And you know, it's almost time for them to start to get ready for training camp, so they probably just like, let me, go out and enjoy my little last time having fun before training camp starts.
But me personally, like if I'm at that level, I'm going in there with like a Nike Tech. Make a couple dollars in my wallet. Nothing too crazy because I know I'm a target. You know what I mean? Like, especially in places that aren't as high profile, like LA, certain places that you kind of getting looked past. I don't think they were looking past you in Cleveland, Ohio. You know what I'm saying?
And also, I just think whoever was coming out that place last night was going to get robbed if you was Cleveland Brown or non-Cleveland Brown, because, NFL players, you can't really tell who they are in public. So
but when you see them, they just look different than a regular Joe Schmo, though. You know what I mean? But it might have been that, too. It might have been just wrong place, wrong time.
It might have been one of those
But we also don't know what they were looking like. But we know that when most athletes go out, they like to look a certain way. They like to enjoy themselves. They like to flaunt something that they earned. Unfortunately, some people don't like you flaunting what you earned because they need it.
Man, what them robbers gonna know? They doing more harm.
Yeah,
they doing more harm by robbing them, because it's gonna be like, shoot, if you gonna do this to me, I ain't gonna get back to this community.
Bro,
like,
and that's my point. Yeah. This person could have gave you a job.
Right.
Could have looked out for you. Could have looked out for all 6 of y'all. Could have made y'all security or something. Could have maybe put y'all in the right position to do something in the future. But now, you ruined the relationship for a lick.
Yeah. Shoot, sound like they need to start their own security team or something. There's 6 of y'all.
And, everybody gang now, so,
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, and a lot of people don't even really understand that.
Oh, Lord.
I have to tell the kids, like, don't be bothering some of these kids that actually be about that, because they'll show you they ain't playing.
Man.
So let's just respect everybody's space and what everybody likes and believes in. Like,
yeah.
I mean, they ain't clowning these kids with Pokemon, so let these kids be. Like, be on the other side of the tracks.
Oh, man. All right. And last NFL news we got for y'all. The Bills look like they're revamping their defense, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think that was the problem when they lost to the Bengals. Their offense was the problem. But they signed Ed Oliver. They gave him an extension, and they signed former Rams and Chicago Bears linebacker Leonard Floyd to deals. So that should help.
You don't look too happy.
He just always look like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very intense.
Yeah, man, football player for real.
Okay.
Always gotta look angry. But good pickup for Ed. Good pickup, and they got 2 talented guys. But once again, their issue was not defense in that postseason game. The issue was their offense went this way after it was going that way all season. You had home field. You could have had home field throughout, and then you end up just losing.
What makes What makes it even worse is their quarterback just got the batting cover.
So that curse is real.
Oh, it's coming.
That batting curse
it's on its way.
That batting curse is real.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, they need to find a way to keep their quarterback from being upright and not making certain mistakes during important times of a playoff game. That's also what they got to address. Because we can't keep talking about this team being a Super Bowl team or him being MVP.
Yeah, man. The coaches got to understand that they're the coaches and he's the quarterback, and they help him become a better quarterback when they can see things that he can't see on the field. So stop letting him have 3 or 4 games. He's come out there and does what he wants. Because we see what happens, especially when he's throwing over 40 times and 50 times. That's ridiculous. So, come on, let's get back to playing football and coaching like we know how to play football.
And my thing with the Bills is, it's like 2-3 years in a row we've been going into a season, folks talking about them being Super Bowl favorites, Josh Allen gonna win MVP and all this. Like they got this high-powered offense, high-powered quarterback, receiver, all this. They got everything, and then me and you sit here and I don't think people realize they're still the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
And they broke ground on a new stadium, $1.5 billion stadium.
Is it going to be in a warmer part of Buffalo?
It's actually going to it's going to be a dome. It's going to be retractable. So they
Is it
can
going to
open
work? Let's see. Because
it better work for $1.5 billion.
that Buffalo snow is different. They're going to learn the hard way.
Hey, man.
Nah, I hope everything works. I'm just giving, Buffalo a hard time. Hey, they got a lot of wild wings in Buffalo?
Yeah, but they got a lot of wild L's.
Where does Buffalo Wild Wings originated from?
I have no idea.
Was it Colorado?
I honestly have no idea.
Me either. Random thought.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get you. Let's get y'all update on no interviews again. My bad, people. I've been slacking, but I'm going to start reaching out again. Get some folks in here.
You've been too busy macking.
I've been too busy sleeping.
And creeping.
Yeah, we're going to try to get some interviews, try to get some players that graduated college are going. We'll figure it out. We'll try to get some interviews, get back on that. But let's get y'all to the Stanley Cup Finals, where the Las Vegas Knights have a 2-0 series lead. Series is going back to Florida on Thursday for games 3 and 4. Good job for the Vegas Knights for jumping on them, taking care of home ice. I think that's what they call it, home ice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
They took care of home ice. Now they just gotta try to steal one on the road. But what we saw from Florida is like if 3-0, 3-1 lead, ain't safe. So thanks, Bruins.
Pitiful.
Man, let me tell you. So, but they gave up 7 goals on Monday. You're not gonna win it. You're not gonna win any games giving up 7 goals on Monday.
They had me out there.
Yeah, you gotta look at that. At some point, you gotta look at your goalie like, oh.
Bro, that's like putting me in some pads and expecting me to play a professional hockey game. I'm gonna give up like 11, 12. This man gave up 7?
7.
Ridiculous.
7.
He needs to be benched. Sorry.
7.
We ain't got time for that.
So here's in 2 games, the total score has been 12-4. Knights had 5 goals in the first game, 7 in the second one. So maybe since they keep going up, they might have 9 tomorrow.
You know me. Once the Bruins get knocked out of the playoffs, I kind of just be in la la land. To the season over.
Bruins, man. I think the Bruins just signed. They made some type of Bruins. Let me give y'all a Bruins announcement if they had any.
Call them the Ruins to next season.
Oh my gosh.
Just wait until you see LeBron in some skates.
Yeah, right.
But their coach is like the coach. He's a coach of the year finalist.
I mean, rightfully so. They had the all-time winningest regular season.
Yeah. Well, for choking a 3-1 lead, you should excommunicate his name from that list.
Excommunicado, like John Wick.
Let's give y'all some Red Sox update. Maybe that's why the weather's been trashed lately, because of the Red Sox. My goodness gracious, man. All right, after dropping 3 in a row to Tampa Bay, they won against the Guardians 5-4, improving their records to a remarkable 31-30. Jeez Louise, and they're in 5th place in the AL East, which means they're dead last, which means we got a lot of angry people walking around the streets of Massachusetts.
That's why the energy's been off.
The energy's been off. The weather's been trash.
Yeah, weather's been very basura.
And it's all because of these guys. They just, I don't know what to say about them. It's kind of like the same thing there was last year. Last year at this time, it was like the same exact record or close to it. So it's kind of like, what have you, as a team and as management, what do y'all be doing during the off season? Because this product y'all putting out, and what was worse is there was empty seats at Fenway, one of the games.
Oh,
that's how bad they've been playing.
Going back to the move on days.
Man.
No, what was my name? Noah? No, what was his name? Garcia Paz. What was his first name?
Nomar.
Oh, Nomar. I said Noah. Nomar Garcia Paz when they started to become all right. But move on, it was real bad.
Yeah, it's getting bad out there. It's getting bad out there. Fans are already turning on them. So
I almost said Chuck Knobloch, whatever his name is. He played for the.
Chuck Knobloch for the Braves.
That's what it is. His name's always correct me. Chuck Knobloch. Like,
Yeah, I think he was like a knuckleballer too.
Okay. That's probably why it's random thoughts. It's probably,
That was Tim Wakefield, the knuckleball.
yeah, there's a couple knuckleballs.
Yep.
Some knuckleheads too.
This is true.
In other words, Red Sox, y'all need to get it together. Get it together. They play the Galaxy again. Oh, I said Galaxy. Guardians.
I was going to say, damn, who's that?
No, the Washington Guardians, I guess. They play them today at 7. Hopefully they win back-to-back games. But, yeah, it's looking like.
The Generals, they couldn't have been the Washington Guardians too? I'd rather deal with a Guardian than a General. Like, just kind of, the superiority complex. It just bothers me in this country.
Let's go to some boxing update. All right. The GOAT woman, what was her name? Clarissa Shields?
Yes.
She won on, when was it, Saturday? She won her match on Saturday, which I don't think was a surprise to many people.
How'd she win it?
How did she win it, Pedro? Was it decision? Or was it?
Yes, a decision.
She ain't knock her out? They got to fight again then.
They might. And she retains her belts. I don't know what is next for her, Pedro. Is there going to be a rematch? Is there an opponent that's eyeing her? No rematch.
Oh, they got to fight the one drops.
Any opponent eyeing her that you think will be a good?
She didn't mention anything. She didn't say anything about it.
No. Maybe she's going to take a little break.
Wait and see.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what she does next. Maybe she's going to take a little break. But stop that GWOAT. Stop that. Just take out the W. You're GOAT. That's it.
Oh, the GOAT.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
It makes my brain hurts every time I see that. GOAT is GOAT, male or female.
Nah, because it reminds me of when people would try to say like whistles. Like we're talking about the people that kind of pronounce a certain, I can't even think about it. It'll come to mind. It'll come to me.
Yeah. Just take out that W and GOAT. Every time I see it, I'm like, what the hell are we doing as a society? This is why people can't read. Y'all just making up words and stuff like that. All right, other boxing news. Josh Taylor is still unbeaten, but he's no longer the unified 140-pound champion. He will face Teofimo Lopez, the former unified world lightweight champion at Madison Square Garden. That's this weekend. Taylor will defend the WBO belt. So make sure you take what channel? Is that a pay-per-view fight or ESPN? Oh, it's ESPN fight, ESPN Plus for those. And then Adrian Broner. I feel like every time I see Adrian Broner, it's always, I just got to laugh because the last time I saw him fight, he was dancing and then got knocked out. That's my last memory of Adrian Broner. But he will be fighting William Hutchinson. Why is it?
He's a lawyer, by the way. He's a lawyer, Hutchinson.
Is he really? Yeah. Is that why he calls himself Hutch?
I guess so.
A terrible.
Weren't they both cops? Starsky and Hutch, they were both cops.
Yeah, Starsky and Hutch were both cops.
And they got signed by Don King.
Hutchinson?
Broner.
Don King's representing him? I'm surprised Don King's still alive. Whenever I hear his name, I be thinking he's dead. But he's still alive. He's still with us. This will be 10-round welterweight bout in the main event. This will take place Friday in Miami. Since it's taking place Friday in Miami, I'm leaning towards William Hutchinson winning this one because Adrian Broner in Miami. Right? What possibly can go wrong the night before a fight?
Will go wrong.
Shoot. Oh, my God. So,
Good luck to Broner, man. Go out there and beat the brakes off that man. Then have him sue you after he beat him too bad. And then have him represent you.
Broner going to be at a party. He's going to be at a party Thursday night, the night before the fight.
Yeah, man, I hope
high school sports update. All right. St. Mary's, they got to get, it's probably going on right now. They are playing, I believe, Reading in the Sweet 16. They won on Friday baseball. They won on Sunday off a walk-off. I was there. It was cold. but
Like,
they won.
Cold or the walk-off was cold?
No, it was cold. it was,
How was the walk-off?
It was cool.
It was cool? It wasn't cold?
No, it wasn't cold. It wasn't cold like the one we saw the Red Sox Yankees.
That was cold.
That was cool. That was cool. St. Mary's girls won yesterday, so they'll be advancing. I think they'll be playing tomorrow in the round of 16.
Okay.
Lynn Tech boys, I feel bad for them because they had to go all the way to the Cape to play, even though the team they were playing, they had a better record than the team they were playing, but you know these rankings. So Tech had to go all the way over to the Cape, and they ended up losing 9-0, which isn't surprising because you got these guys going all the way over there. Yeah. They had a better record than them, like way better record than the team.
So what's the justification of them having to go?
You know, that team that they faced, they played tougher opponents, even though they lost to those opponents, but, you know, their strength of schedule or what, I don't know. They reward teams for losing. These rankings,
That's what losers do.
Yeah, these ranking systems, they reward teams for losing. So I feel bad for the Tech boys because they could have at least got a home game, but no, they had to go on the road.
They reward teams for losing.
Yes.
So what is the point of even playing?
Yeah, exactly. Lynn Classical boys, they had their season came to an end, although they had I think they only lost 2 games all year, but they ended up losing in the opening round, and that does it for their season.
Damn.
Yeah, man. So, English boys lost to Weymouth on Monday, 4-3. So that ends their season. Well, they won at Shrewsbury. Or Salisbury, Shrewsbury, Salisbury, whatever. One of those. They went over there Saturday and they won, and then they had to go on the road again. Lost 4-3, heartbreaker, but their season comes to an end. So, yeah, that's what we got. That's all we got for high school sports updates.
Did they all make the playoffs?
All the teams.
Sounds like they did.
Except Tech girls didn't make the playoffs, but yeah. Tech boys made the playoff. Classical boys and girls made the playoffs. St. Mary's boys and girls made the playoffs. English boys and girls made the playoffs.
Well, shout out to that because I know English has been working on trying to improve that softball club. So, you know, I'm glad that they got their first taste of playoff experience, since 24 years, right?
Yeah, since 99.
Man, shout out to Ashley. You know what I mean?
Good. Kudos to all them girls. Let's go to top 10 from games 1 and 2 of the NBA Finals. So check this out. All right, and we are back. Okay, let's go. Here's a throwback one game that I got for y'all. Some highlights. Go back to 2005, Lynn Tech versus Dedham at the Fleet Center, which is now the TD Garden, but at the Fleet Center. Check this out. So I had another one from the Garden, but while editing it, I was just frustrated by the camera work because the person that recorded this game decided he's going to record the Jumbotron
Instead of the actual
footage. And my biggest issue with recording the Jumbotron is you're using the cameras in the arena. So whenever they cut away to replays, you're missing the action. And I was like, who in the world? And then you know what they would do? When there's a timeout, they place the camera on the court in the crowd and stuff like that. Like they were working completely backwards. So that is why I'm not going to show those highlights to y'all, because of my frustration with the camera work of whoever recorded that game in 2009. I could check. I think the name might be in the credits. Look.
They wanted credit for that?
Man. Right? Like, who records the Jumbotron? You might as well not work.
Yeah, that's like a bootleg movie. And even a bootleg is like in a dim lighting setting, and it's bright. So like, yeah, you're in a bright setting trying to record a screen. That's tough. Cause I was thinking about the lighting. That's what I was thinking about.
Absolutely. I think I have I'll show you. I put it in my story.
The focus, the lighting.
Yeah. All bad. Everything was bad.
That doesn't make sense.
It's like, you must be a new fool or old fool.
Nah, I'm probably a new fool.
Yeah. Well, that's how it was.
Oh.
And then that's.
Oh yeah, it doesn't even nail it.
Right.
It looks weird.
It was very weird. But that was my frustration. I was mad as hell editing that. We got an announcement. So check this out. Talked to Pedro about this yesterday. So we are trying to get our viewers more interactive, get them engaged with the show. So here's what we're gonna start doing. If you got any sports-related questions, or if you got any sports-related commentary, send it to us. Record yourself. 60 seconds, though. 60 seconds. Just send it. If you got questions for me and Todd, just email it to us, mkabongo@lyntv.org. mkabongo, MKABONGO, @lyntv.org. Email your thoughts, questions. If you want to talk crap about the Red Sox, go ahead, do that. Just make sure you record it, email it to me, and we'll get it on the show. That's our way of trying to get y'all more interacting with our audience, so make sure you do that. Might not do it next week, but just email them, and we'll do it at some point, all right? So once again, if you got any questions for me and Todd, or if you want to give your opinion on what's happening in the sports world, go ahead. Oh, if you want to give your opinion on what's happening with the PGA and that how Liv bought the PGA or whatever like that, basically the Saudis are owning the PGAs. That's pretty much it. So
okay.
If you got any opinions on that, send an email once again, all right? Well, I'm going to keep reiterating this, so if y'all do it. But once again, email me, mkabongo, M-A-M-K, I can't even spell my name, MKABONGO @lyntv.org, and you'll be a part of the show. We're trying to get y'all interactive in here. All right? That's the announcement, because we're about to be. Summer League starts Monday at St. Mary's. Lights Out Gym Summer League starts Monday at St. Mary's.
P2P starting.
P2P is starting end of June.
All right.
P2P starting end of June. I think we're gonna get those guys in here. Koki. We're going to get them in here.
Yeah, man, go support. They already had the draft and all that.
Yeah, they had the draft. So I'm going to reach out to them. We'll try to get them in here next week and talk about P2P once again. All right? That's all we got for this week. Hopefully we get some interviews. I'm going to reach out to a Red Sox reporter. Let's see if we get him in here so we could dump on the Red Sox together. Follow us, LCTV After the Whistle on Instagram. Follow him, Mr. Burn23 on Instagram. Mukala K on Instagram. We out of here. I don't know whose birthday it is this week.
Putting his jacket away and putting his ring back. First day of award outside.